Alrighty, okay. Let's hope this works. Welcome.
Oh, it went on the floor.
Oh, it's okay. Good morning, everybody.
Good morning.
We've got a happy birthday balloon. Alrighty, so let's get started with our feet. So we take our tennis ball and we will place it under our feet and we will start to massage those feet. Hopefully we
So when do you leave?
I leave tomorrow.
Oh, tomorrow.
Hopefully I can get on the plane.
Oh, wow, I didn't know you were going quite that
Well,
soon.
yeah, all the airports are kind of ground to a halt right now.
Yeah.
So you're gone for 3 weeks? And then, will there be
Yes.
classes here or no?
Then I'll be back for 1 week and then I'm gone for 1 week. So
Okay.
Where are you going?
New Zealand.
Oh.
It takes forever to
You're
get
going
there.
for winter.
My daughter's having a baby.
Oh.
Yeah.
So there's no class tomorrow, next week?
No, just checking we're recording. Yes, no class next. Well, you will be doing this class again. So we're recording this class so you can play this back and do it while I'm gone.
Where'd Chris go? She's the one that.
Yeah. So I'll send this to Maya and she can I'll put it on YouTube and they'll be able to, hopefully if it records. If not, then Chris will take care of it. Alright, make sure we get both feet. Get into those, got some happy smiley sockies on.
Happy feet.
Alright, so what we'll do is we'll just warm our feet up while we're waiting for everybody. I know we've got a few people still attending, so we're just warming our feet up now. And we'll give everyone just a few minutes to catch up. And then we'll start from the head to the toes, even though we're starting with our toes right now. We'll start from our head to our toes. So hopefully this is going to work. And we'll be able to replay this many times. Alright, so when you're done with your feet, just put your ball to the side, just a place where you're not going to fall over. Alright, let's just get started by just doing a nice big inhale, arms all the way up to the sky, and exhale down to your heart. Let's just do a little bit of breathing, breath work before we start. Always good practice, we don't always do this, so we're just going to inhale for 3 and exhale for 5. This is a very good method to calm your nervous system down. If you ever get anxious, or like I'm going to be over the next week, just calm with your breath. So we're going to inhale for 3, take a pause at the top, and exhale for 5. So just inhale your count of 3, and exhale to a count of 5. And keep doing that a couple more times. I won't count because it's very off-putting because everyone breathes at the same pace. So you do your own counting for 3 inhales, pause, and then exhale for 5. Let's do that one more time. Inhale for 3. And exhale for 5. When you've done that, maybe we can return to our natural breath work. And just slowly just start breathing on your own normally. Just inhales and exhales, just calming ourselves down, getting our body ready for some movement. And when you're done, if your eyes were closed, slowly open your eyes. And we will get started with our neck. So we'll use our little fists to loosen up our neck to start with. What we're going to do is we're going to take our fists to our neck. We're going to find that blue, that knot, or there's a bone protrusion right below your ear. Let's get into that with our knuckles. We're going to put our knuckles here. Place your right hand to the right side. And then let's take a measurement, so take your left hand to your nose, and then just totally take your head over to the left and see where you stop. And then maybe just make a marker of where we stop, so you can see where you are right now. Come back to center, and then with that fist on your neck, you're going to slowly start ironing. Make shoulders ahead, we're not turning our whole body, we're just turning our neck. So take your fist to your neck and slowly start ironing out. It's like you're ironing your neck. You're sliding your knuckles down to the top where your collarbone is. You choose the pressure. You can do this with a lot of pressure. You can do it with very light pressure. This is your choice, depending on how sore your neck might be. So let's do maybe 2 or 3 of those. And then on your third one, as you bring your knuckles down, turn your head to the left and keep taking that fist all the way down to that top of your collarbone. And then come back to center, release your hand, maybe shake it out. And then take your left hand to your nose and then look, see if you got any further. You should see a little bit more, you should see. We're going to get into the other side now. So let's take our left hand, make a fist, and get ready with our knuckles to our neck, the bone right behind the ear. And then take our right hand and turn our head. Make sure our shoulders are still facing forward. And then make a marker on the wall of where you can see. Just a guide. Bring your head back to center. And then slowly start to iron out your neck. Bring those knuckles from that bone behind your ear all the way down to the top of your collarbone. Keep sliding that down. Maybe do it. The slower you go, the more impact you can get on your neck. Just slowly take that down. Maybe a couple of times. And then on the third time, as you take your hand down, turn your head to the right. And get through all those knots in your neck. Slide it all the way down. And then release, bring your head back to center, shake out that hand. Take your right hand to your nose and see if you got further. You should have seen a little bit of improvement. If not, you can always come back and do that again. All right, come back to center. Take a big inhale all the way up. And exhale down to our heart. All right, let's take the right ear to the right shoulder. Feel the stretch in the left side of the neck. We've kind of got into that a little bit, so you should feel that should start releasing. And then just gently nod your head up and down like you're saying yes. Just nod up and down. Just gently. And bring your head back to center. Take your left ear to your left shoulder. And then gently nod your head up and down. Do this a couple of times. This is just slowly getting into the neck. Come back up to center. We're going to do that slightly different. We're going to take the right ear to the right shoulder. Take our nose and look down over your left shoulder. You should feel a stretch more in the back of the neck. Might feel it down your shoulders a little bit, but you're just looking, glancing over your right shoulder. Just pause here for a couple of breaths. And then come back to center slowly. And then take our left ear to our left shoulder. And take your nose over and look over your left shoulder. Just a slightly different stretch you should feel in your neck here. Take a couple of breaths here. And then come back to center slowly. We always go slow with our neck. Let's draw some circles with our nose. We're going to take our nose and draw a circle. Keep your shoulders still. Keep your body facing forward. We're just getting into the neck here. Nice big circles or small circles. This is your choice. Go slowly so you don't get dizzy. When you've done about 4 or 5 circles, pause at the top and then go the other direction. Just getting into the neck. Our neck holds our head. Our head is very heavy. And when you're done, just pause. Let's come back, take a breath in. And let's do some cat and cows. And for those of you who don't know cat and cow, for our cow shape, we drop our shoulders back, shoulder blades pointed down, stand across our chest, and you should see a dip in your back for cow shape. Looking forward, nice tall spine. And then for our cat shape, we round our shoulders, tuck our belly button to our spine, and look down between our knees. We'll flow through these a few times. Roll the shoulders back, expand across the chest, into cow. Take a breath here. Roll the shoulders forward, arch the back, tuck the belly button to the spine, into cat. Just go through a few of these at your own pace. There's no rush. We will all meet together at the end. We're just going to come forward. Just getting into the spine, loosening up all that vertebrae. Make sure you're still looking ahead. And then maybe finish up on the one your arm, one cat, one cow, and then pause in the center. All right, let's move into stir the pot. So you might want to come to the edge of your seat so you have some room behind you. And we're going to take our chest forward, and we're just going to draw a big circle with our waist and our hips. Keep your sits bones firmly on your seat. You will see weight adjustment as you move around, but make sure you're firmly seated in your seat. Once again, this is your pace. The size of the circle is your choice. Just slowly get into these hips. Working out some of that tightness. Let's finish up the circle you're on. And rotate to the other direction. Let's go to the other side. I've got a squeaky chair today.
Got a couple of them to keep them tuned.
Come back to center and pause. Right, nice tall spine. Remember that cord as if someone is pulling you up to the ceiling. We're going to take our arms up above our head. And we're going to do a side twist to the right. So we're twisting, we always go from the belly, chest, neck, head last. So we're going to twist from the waist, shoulders, head and neck last, and release those hands down. We're now into a side twist. Looking over to not quite your right shoulder, but close to your right shoulder. Feel that stretch. Your belly button should still be facing forwards or close to being forwards. You're just stretching your upper body here. A couple of breaths here. And then when you're ready, bring your arms back up to the center. And we will take a nice inhale and go to the other side. Inhale. And on your exhale, twist over to the other side and release your arms to the left side. And breathe. Take 2 nice big breaths here. Arms back up. Come back to center. Let's do that one more time. Nice inhale. And twist to the right. And release those arms down. Take a couple of breaths here. Bring those arms back up to center. Nice big inhale. And exhale over to the left. And release those arms. Bring those arms back up to the center. Let's take those arms into goddess. Let's take this to the right. Take a nice inhale, twisting from the waist up again. Twist over to the right. You might feel it's slightly different part of your body with this twist, because you're engaging your arms and your shoulders here. Engages different muscles. Come back to center. Let's twist open to the left. Couple of breaths here. Come back to center. And let's release those arms. That's a lot of work for the shoulders. Roll those shoulders back. Get those loosened. Roll them back. And then roll them forward. All right, let's get into those wrists. Let's get off our shoulders for a bit. Take your palm, take your left hand to your right, and let's just slightly stretch out that wrist, your right wrist. So you're pulling your fingers down, feeling the stretch on your wrist. Take your left hand to your right fingers. So hold your hand like this, and then take your other hand over and push your fingers down. I'm trying to describe it, I'm not describing it very well. So take your, okay, we'll release that. Take your other hand up. Take your fingers back. That works too. But you could bring your hand on the other side. So you're doing your, from here. Yeah, it's your choice. But you're basically getting a stretch into the wrist here. Let's go to the other hand. Let's come forward. That muscles, stretch out those ligaments in the top of the wrist. Might feel a stretch, might not. Depends how flexible your wrists are. Release that hand. Sorry?
How much pain?
Oh, I'm sorry, you've got bad wrists. I know. And then stretch out the other. Shake that out. All right. Okay, let's take our block. Let's reach for our block. Work a little bit of our shoulders again. We're going to block out in front of us. Everyone's got their block. We're going to take our block up to the sky. We're going to bend our elbows and tuck that block in behind your head. Nice big inhale and exhale here. Working your triceps here. Bring that block up to the ceiling. Bring it down in front of you. Place it on your knees. Pause. Do that again. Inhale, bring the block up. Tuck it behind your head. If you want to lift your palms up a bit higher, you'll get a little bit more into your triceps. Might feel it in your shoulders as well. Stretching out those triceps. Bring the block up and release the block down. Place the block between your feet. And once again, depending on how long your arms are, come to the edge of your seat. Take your feet out wide and do a fold to our block. If you feel that this is too far to come, you can keep your hands on your knees. You can turn your block up. You can have your block on any height. So we're going to lean forwards into our block. So you can either slide your hands down over your knees, down if you want to feel safe, and then you can put your hands on your block. So you can turn your block up to any height here. Or you can put your hands on the floor. If you can reach the floor, feel free to put your hands directly on the floor. It's probably dirty though. I'm not sure if I recommend that. Okay, we're going to leave our left hand on the block and we're going to do a twist open to the right. So we're going to take our right hand off the block and we're going to take an inhale and we're going to bring our arm all the way up to the side and look up at those right fingertips. Look up to the sky, feel a stretch in your right hip, maybe the right side where your ribs are, and breathe. Bring that hand down, replace it on the block. Excuse me. Take the left hand off the block and inhale all the way up and look up to the sky, your left hand. This is really good for your hips. Feels very awkward maybe, but it's very good for you. One more breath here. And bring your hand down, replace it. We'll do that one more time. Take your left hand to the block and your right hand up. Open, twist to the right. And look up at your fingers. Stretch. And breathe. Don't forget to breathe. Sometimes we forget to breathe. Bring that arm down, replace it on your block. Take your left arm up, twist open to the left. And breathe. Bring that arm back down and take your hands to your knees and slowly round up, very slowly. Don't want anyone falling off their chairs. Okay. Let's get off those arms. So let's take our block between our feet. Once again, you can have it on the widest setting, you can have it on the tall setting. You feel how secure you have your block between your feet. If you want it easier, sit into the back of your chair. It's less work if you do this. If you want a challenge with your quads, come to the front of your chair. Let's do the back. Okay, I'm going to take a nice breath in and raise that block. There we go. We're going to hold it here for a minute. Not a whole minute. We can hold it for 60 seconds. We can do that. Where you should feel your quads engaged here. You should feel tightening. You might start feeling in your hips, your hip flexors. Just going to hold it for maybe 10 more seconds. You can watch all these faces going, okay, let it go, please. All right, release that. All right, let's just stomp my feet up a little bit. As if you're running on the spot. Like we're going for a jog. Just get some blood going in there. All right, and pause. All right, do that one more time. Take the block between your feet and bring it up. And hold. Don't forget, nice tall spine. Everybody's like, oh, that's too easy. You have to engage those abs. That helps support your back. All these things we think about when we get too old. We're like, I wish I'd done that when I was younger. All right. 10 more seconds. And release that down. All right. Let's put that block to the side and we are going to get off our chairs now. So we're going to stand up. Still on camera. Once again, your chair is your guide, your stability. Feel free to hold onto your chair anytime you need. There's nothing wrong with holding onto your chair. Use it. That's why we have chair yoga. All right. So we're going to take our feet maybe a little bit, maybe I don't know, 2 blocks, 2 squares on the floor apart. Okay, in the middle of the camera. And we're going to turn our toes out. I'm going to move into goddess standing up. We did goddess in the chair. So with our goddess standing up, we're going to like push our bottom out slightly as if you're pushing a car door, and you're going to bend into your knees slightly. Don't go too far. If you see any or feel any strain on your knees, just straighten your legs up a bit. You don't have to go too far here. The idea is not to hurt your knees. Make sure your knees don't go too far. You don't want to go too low because you don't want your knees to go above your ankle or past your ankle. They should be in line with your ankle. And then bring your arms up into goddess. Now this is fierce goddess. If your shoulders hurt, some of us have bad shoulders, we can put our hands to our heart here. And that just takes us off our shoulders. Do some pulses here. We're going to just do a little baby, only gentle pulses because you don't want to hurt your knees. Just little gentle pulses. It's just getting some movement, blood flow. Just maybe a few more of these. All right. And then pause in goddess. We're going to raise our right heel. Now if you need to hold your chair, it's there for a reason. And then lower your right heel. Let's raise our left heel. You guys are all pros, you've done this before. And lower your left heel. Do that again. Right heel. Lower your right heel. Raise your left heel. Lower your left heel. Now the challenge. You might need to hold onto your chair for this. Both heels. I know. You'll feel it in your inner thighs working. This is a really good one for your inner thighs. Might feel some wobbles, that's okay. You've always got your chair there if you need it. And release. Straighten those legs. All right. Let's bring our feet together. Let's move into chair pose. Now for chair pose, similar to position with goddess, with, we're going to push our booties out as if we're shutting a car door, and we're going to bend into the knees. Hands can be at your heart, hands can be up here, hands can be in front. Traditional chair is up here by the biceps, but shoulder people, hands at the heart. You don't have to have your hands up unless you've got good, strong shoulders. So you're just gently, as if you're going to sit on a chair, which is why it's called chair pose, but you're not actually sitting on a chair. This is a lot of leg engagement, you may find. Right, lift your right heel. Lower your right heel. Lift your left heel. Lower your left heel. Right heel, lower, up. Lower, left heel, up. Lower. Who wants a challenge? Both heels. Hang on to your chair if you need it. Both heels. Feel the wobbles. You can always lower your heels if you feel too wobbly. Or hold your chair. This is a good practice if you hold your chair. Because eventually there will be a time where you can let go of your chair. The more you practice, and lower. Straighten those legs up. And we'll move into some balance poses. Tree pose. We all know tree pose. Those who don't know tree pose, if you need your block can be your friend. You can have it at the side of your feet. And if you want to use this as a step, you can do this. The idea of tree pose is to balance on one leg and open the hip of the other leg. So for tree pose, if you want to use your block, you're just going to place your foot on your block. Your hip is open. Your weight is on your left foot. You're in tree. This is tree pose. This is totally fine to be in tree. The idea is to open your hip though. So your leg is open. Your leg is not forward, it's open. So you're opening your hip. This is tree. For those of you who want more of a challenge, you can take your foot to your shin. And you can hold a chair if you need to hold a chair. Wobbling is fine. As we always say, you can do this while you're brushing your teeth. If you wobble, it's fine. Just come out, come back to tree. It's all good. And as I say, you've got your block there. If you want to use it as a little stabilizer, your block is there if you need it. And then release that down. If you go to the other side, I'll move my block to show you. Once again, your weight is in your right leg, and you're going to open your left hip, and you can place your foot on the block. Tree pose. This is tree. You're doing great. Tree. You have baby tree over there.
Little shrub.
It's all good. Shrubs are good.
Rose bush.
And then if you feel like you can do it, then just place your foot to your shin. And wobble. Wobbling is okay. That's why we have chairs. This is good. Real challenge is when you close your eyes, but I won't ask you to do that. That is a huge challenge when you have to close your eyes. All right. And then release that. All right. We're going to do a little bit more of a challenge with that tree pose. So make sure you're in a comfortable position. You're standing with your feet comfortably on the floor. You feel like your hips are above your feet and you feel stable. So we're going to do a high knee raise. So we're going to just take our right knee up. You need to hold your chair. Hold your chair. Nothing wrong. We're going to just hold this. If you want to take your hands off and put the hands to your heart, you're in one-legged mountain pose. If you want to bring your arms up to the sky, this is real one-legged mountain pose. So you can do this. You can always have your hands on your heart. You can always have your hands on your chair. Anything works here. And then release that down. We'll move to the other side. All your weight is going into your right leg. We're going to lift our left knee. If you flex your foot, that does help with balance. If your foot's kind of hanging out there, it makes you wobbly, so you can flex your foot for more balance. And we all wobble. I'm wobbling right now. Don't look at anyone else who's wobbling though. And once again, if you want to bring your arms up, you can bring your arms up to the sky, one-legged mountain. And breathe. And bring your hands to your heart and bring your leg down. We'll do a little challenge. We'll go from mountain to tree. So what we're going to do here is do our one knee lift. So our right knee is lifting, our left leg has all the weight. And you might need your chair here. So if you want to put your hand on your chair, you don't have to, but if you feel wobbly, you're going to open your right leg. And then put it on your chin. You just went from mountain to tree. Look at you all. You go mountain, tree, mountain, tree. And then release. We'll do the other side. Getting all pros here. Lift that left knee, weight in the right foot, flex your toes for balance, and open your hip. We're here. And if you want to go to tree, then we can go to mountain. Then we can go to tree. Then we go to mountain. Then we go to tree. Mountain. And release. All right, shake out those hands. Maybe just raise those knees a little bit. All right. Let's go into warrior one. Warrior one pose. We're going to take our right foot, step it forward, maybe a square, 2 squares. Just feel balanced. And with this pose, we want to make sure our feet are wide enough to feel balanced. We're not on a trapeze, that's very wobbly. Maybe a square in between your legs. So make sure you feel that you've got some distance between your legs and you feel like you're on 2 railroad tracks. This is like you're standing in a train on 2 railroad tracks. We're going to have our right toes pointed forward. We're going to take our left toes slightly pointed out. That just gives you a little bit more balance and opens up your hip a bit. Your hips, imagine your hips having light bulbs on them. They should be pointed forward. They're like little car lights that will be shining on the wall. So the idea is to be having your hips face forward, and then we'll bend into that right knee slightly. Make sure your knee is above your ankle. If you have knee problems, just back off. If you feel any knee pain, just back off. Take a big inhale and bring those arms up. You are in mountain pose. And breathe. Take another nice breath here, in and out. And release those arms down. And step your right foot to meet your left. We'll go to the other side. Take your left foot forward. Make sure you have stability, some gap between your legs. Turn your right toes slightly out to open up those hips. Bend into that left knee, not too far. Feel stable before you bring your arms up. Nice inhale, arms up. You're all in warrior one. And breathe. Lots of breaths here. And let that go. Bring your arms down, straighten your leg and step back up. We'll go to warrior one to pyramid next. Pyramid is similar pose, but your leg's going to be straight and you'll bend slightly forward. So if you have your chair handy, your chair should be nearby. So if you need to put your hand on your chair, make sure it's available. So we're going to step forward into warrior one. Make sure you've got a good stability. Turn those left toes slightly out. Bend into that right front knee. Bring your arms up on an inhale, up to the sky. Take a nice inhale here. Then we're going to bring our arms down and we're going to straighten that front leg. We're going to bend slightly forward and just put our hands on that leg, the right leg. What was it? I don't know. All good, all good. So you are in pyramid pose. The pyramid pose is where your both legs are straight and you should feel a stretch in your right hamstring. The leg in front, you should feel a slight stretch. If you want to go further, just put your hand on your chair and you can lean a little bit deeper into that stretch, but don't go too far that you're going to feel wobbly. Your chair can help you. You don't have to have your hand on your leg. You can have your hand on the chair if you want. But the idea is to be stretching out that right hamstring here. And then slowly come up with your hands to your hips. Step back up. And we'll go to the other side. Go into warrior one. Take that left foot forward. Right toe slightly out. Nice distance between your legs. And bend into that front knee. Nice inhale, arms up. Into nice strong warrior one. Nice breath here. And then bring those arms down. Straighten that front leg. And then very slowly lean slightly forward until you feel a slight stretch in that left hamstring now. So if you want to go deeper, make sure your chair's available, because the further you go down, the ground gets very close. Just feeling a stretch in your left hamstring, just a slight stretch. If you feel a big stretch, just back off. Just don't lean forward so much, because you don't want to hurt your hamstrings, because that's a long recovery. All right, and then come back up, step up together, into mountain pose, hands forward. Take a nice big inhale all the way up, gather all that energy. And exhale down to our hearts. All right, let's get back to our chair. Alrighty. Okay, so we're going to stretch out some of that hips. So we're going to reach for our strap. Come to a nice comfortable place on your seat. Once again, if you want to be nearer the front, it's going to be harder work for you. If you want an easier way, sit in the back of the chair. But make sure you keep a nice tall spine. We're not going to lean today, no leaning today. We're going to take our strap and we're going to put it around our right foot. And you're in control. All right. And we're going to very slowly take that leg out to the right. Just as far as you feel a stretch. We're getting into those hips that we worked today. You don't have to go too far, but just getting into a stretch, making sure that we're releasing some of that hip work we did. We're stretching out that hip. And that hamstring, we're stretching out the hamstring as well. We always have a warm-up, some work, and some stretching with yoga. Make sure we take care of that body. Alrighty, maybe 10 more breaths here. You're like, no, can I be done? You can be done whenever you want. This is your practice. If you don't want to hold your leg out, you don't have to hold your leg out. So whenever you're ready. Alright, I'll lead it then. Come back in. Alright, just release that leg and just pause. And then slowly get to your left leg. Let's take our left leg, strap around your left leg, and then over to the left. Now, none of this. Yes, we can go further if we lean. No leaning. Nice tall spine. If you don't have to go very far to feel the stretch in your leg, in your hip. You should feel that hamstring and that hip flexor and the hamstring stretch pretty easily by just moving it slightly, especially for those of us who sit down all day long, like me. They do not get enough stretching. Take a few more breaths here. And then come back to center and release out. Didn't have to go so long that side. All right, we're going to keep holding your strap. We're going to use that again. We're going to do this again, but we're going to take our right foot up out straight, and we're just going to flex into that ankle. We haven't really warmed that up. We did some standing, so let's get some stretching on that. Just point and flex, point and flex. Another place we need to keep healthy is our ankles, because I have broken mine twice. That is not fun. It takes a long time to recover from a broken ankle. And then just left to right. Kind of 11 o'clock to 1 o'clock, I'd say. 11 to 1, 11 to 1, if you're on the clock. You might feel this in your hip as well. This is also getting into your hip, because we worked on hips today. Doesn't seem like it, but you can feel, I can feel it in my hip working. And we have the back. All right. And then release. And we will stretch stretch out the left leg straight and then point and flex. Point and flex. Just loosening that up. And then when you're ready, side to side. And then feel that hip flexor working. Feel your hip flexor? Surprisingly, yeah, it's amazing how your body is connected. It's really amazing. And release. Alright, you might feel that that's like, ooh, talking to you now. Alright, let's stretch that out. One more time. We'll do a short stretch. So, right foot in the strap, and very slowly on an inhale, take it out to the right. Going to pause here. We're not going to stay here long, we promise. Maybe a couple more breaths just to get us stretching a different angle. And then bring that back up and release. Go to the left foot. Don't forget to breathe. Inhale. And take it out to the left. Just briefly for a couple more breaths. You might find it a little bit easier this time. Go a little bit further. That's why we do some of these stretching twice and some balancing twice, because the first time you do it, your body's like, what am I doing? And I'm stiff. And then the second time, you're like, okay, I've relaxed a bit. All right, and then bring that back up and release. Okay, one more stretching of our hips. So you can take your strap away to the side, come to the edge of your seat a little bit. It's a lot easier if you do this on the edge. And we're going to take our right ankle to our left knee. This is called figure 4 hip stretch because we look like a figure 4 when we're sitting here. Believe it or not. We can do this on your back. If you're in bed at home, you can actually lay on your back and do this on your back. And you can put this leg up in the air. That's a good one to do at night time as well if you want to stretch out your hips. It's actually quite helpful. And then if you want a deeper stretch, take a big inhale. And on your exhale, slightly forward, only as far as you feel that stretch in your hips or maybe your lower back. If you feel anything talking to you, come back up. You don't have to go too far forward to feel a stretch. Overstretching is not good either. So just take a couple of breaths here. You should feel really good. I do this a lot when I'm sitting in my chair at work on my computer. It just feels so good. You can do it in the car. I'll be doing this on the airplane because, just to get moving and get stretching. You can do this on an airplane. You can. As long as your feet are pointing in the air, not someone else's face. And then come back up and release that. Go to the other side. Let's take our left ankle to our right knee. Flex the foot is another good one. We talk about flexing the foot a lot. That engages everything. If you're not flexing the foot, you're not really engaging all those muscles. But nice inhale, and then you exhale. If you want to come forward for a deeper stretch, come forward, but it's your choice. Just as where your body tells you it can feel something, you will know. And just enjoy this stretch. In a nice deep stretch. Do this in the car too. If you're not driving, yes. I wouldn't recommend it while you're driving. Alright, one more breath here. And then come back up and release that. Let's just maybe stomp on the ground a little bit, get some blood flowing back to those hips. All that blood rushing helps generate more oxygen cells, healthy cells. Alright, unpause. Alright, come back to the seat, the back of your chair. Just going to slow it down now. You take a nice inhale, gather all that energy up. Hands to your heart. Keep your hands up to the sky. You thought you were done. Point the fingers up in the air. Just do a couple of side stretches. Take an inhale and side stretch over to the right. Just stretching out a little bit more. You're reaching. You're stretching out your spine here and your side ribs. Come back up to center. Pause. Inhale. And exhale over to the left. Stretch stretching into that right side of your ribs and your right hip. We're still stretching those hips. We're almost done, I promise. Come back up to center. Bring those hands down to your heart. Close your eyes. Take some nice breaths. We'll go back to our breath work we started this morning. You can either have a soft gaze or your eyes closed, your choice. We're going to inhale for 3 and exhale for 5. Just bring it down slowly. We'll do this a few rounds before we end. So inhale for 3 and exhale for 5. Inhale for 3. Exhale for 5. And then just breathe on your own for a few breaths. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes, adjust to the light in the room. I want to thank you all for coming and joining me today. Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you.
Hopefully you'll enjoy watching this again.